Welcome to Yoruba Kingdom TV, built by passion.
Tọ́rọ̀ bá rí bí eléyìí kábíra wa léèrè pé ẹ la lọ̀rọ̀. Ilé kan bẹ tí wọ́n ń pè ní ahéré. Lédè Oǹdó ẹ pè ní agwẹ́. Ilé yìí tán bá ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ oko tuntun, àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n wá fi mọ̀ bí igi bí nǹkan kan, wọ́n wá dò wọ́n fi kọ́, wọ́n wá fi mọ̀ sọ̀gbà yíká. Inú ilé yìí bákan náà ni wọ́n ti ṣe ibì kan tí wọ́n máa ń pè ní àká. Wọ́n wá fi àwọn okùn kan, okùn yẹn máa ń le kì í sí ìbàjẹ́, ikán kì í jẹ. Wọ́n wá fi so iṣu yẹn òun ni wọ́n máa fi ń ṣe storage. Kóyìnbó tó dé, àwọn baba ńlá wa ti mọ̀ nípa storage. Tán bá ti wá fi iṣu yìí, tán bá ti wá fipá kì í ṣe ẹyọ kan o, ọgọgọ́rùn thousands of yams wọ́n á fi síbẹ̀. Òní wọ́n jẹ, inú ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti pa nǹkan tí wọ́n ń pè ní èbù. Ibẹ̀ yẹn kọ́ mò ń lọ. Ṣé wá rí inú ilé tí wọ́n ń pè ní ahéré yìí, tí wọ́n bá ti fẹ́ wọbẹ̀, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀, wọ́n rọra wọ̀ jẹ́ èèyàn méjì kì í sì wọbẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. Èèyàn kan ti lè ṣiṣẹ́ kó rẹ̀ ẹ́, kó wà nù bẹ̀, kó máa jẹun àbí kó máa rẹra, kó máa rẹjú. Ẹni tí bá ti fẹ́ wọbẹ̀ yóò wá wọbẹ̀ jẹ́ wọn èyí wọbẹ̀ ní tipátìkúkú tàbí ti gìràgìrà. Bí wọ́n bá ti wá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọbẹ̀ ní tipátìkúkú, nítorí pé kì í ga, kì í sì fi bẹ́ẹ̀ lágbára, ṣùgbọ́n kò sí bí atẹ́gùn ṣe le tó lè bí lulẹ̀ tàbí tó lè bí ṣubú, torí pé bí wọ́n ti ṣe kò ga ní gíga tátẹ́gùn lè ka, àti wípé dídúró tó gbé dúró, ohun tó lè mú ṣubú ni wípé àwọn igi tí wọ́n fi dì í lẹ́nu ọ̀nà lọ́tún àti lósì ní igun mẹ́rin yẹn, tí wọ́n bá yọ kúrò ńbẹ̀, agbára rẹ̀ pinnu. Wọ́n wá sọ wípé a kì í fi gìrìgìrì wọlé awúrẹ́ kó má bàa dàwó. Òun lọ̀rọ̀ tí ń bẹ ńlẹ̀ yìí o. Ọ̀rọ̀ wo? Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ọmọ yín ni àròpọ̀ rẹ̀. Èmi a máa wípé àyọkù òbí. Ó tọrọ ọmọ ìyá àsọkùsọ. Wọ́n ń pa yín lọ́mọ. Wọ́n ń fẹ́ràn joko. Nígbà ayé Buhari, a ní Buhari ni. Lánàá òde yìí, lọ́sẹ̀ tó lọ yìí, lóṣù tó lọ yìí, wọ́n pààyàn. Ó ti gan pàápàá l'Ondo State, nílùú tèmi ti wá. Àwọn wo ni wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ ibi náà? Àwọn àtìláwí náà ni, àwọn adaràn. Now, wọ́n wá tún lọ sílé ìjọsìn Redeemed Christian Church of God. Wọ́n dàbí ẹ̀dùn bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n rọ̀ bí òwe o. Ẹ wò bí n bá parọ́.
So lẹ́rí táwọn èèyàn dé, ambulance ló dé láti wá gbé ẹni tán pa sínú church Redeemed tó wà ní ọ̀mù.
You say we don't need the IPO anymore. If they come,
So please save our souls. So Fulani S-men, they are troubling us here in Omu. They mobilize themselves. Lè sùn mọ́ o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ o. Ẹ gbà wá o. Bí mẹ́sẹ̀gì bá ṣe ń tẹ̀ yín lá, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa bá forward rẹ̀ sí all the platform. Ẹ máa bá share rẹ̀ sí platform. Kó kó kan gbogbo àwọn government parastatals ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kó kan governor Ogun State Prince Dapo Abiodun ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kàn bá wa wá nǹkan ṣe sí o commissioner for police Ogun State chief of staff Ogun State ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa wá nǹkan ṣe sí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ gbà wá o ní ọ̀mù Ọbáfẹ́mi Owódé local government fi àǹfààní ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
sọ̀rọ̀ sí ọ̀fadà ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ fẹ́ẹ̀ sórí platform everybody.
then lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ wọ́n yìnbọn fáyìn àwọn èèyàn méjì àwọn méjì wà lọ́sítà ẹnìkan tán parí so dákun abẹ́rẹ́ o dákun ìbá wọn kò ṣe.
ó dà nígbà tọ́rọ̀ bá rí bí eléyìí ẹ̀yin bàbá wa mọ́nímọ́ní ẹ̀yin ìyá wa mọ̀yànmọ̀yàn tọ́rọ̀ bá rí bí eléyìí tarakùnrin kan sì sọ pé where are the cows nígbà kan tó sì jẹ́ pé jímìkì náà ni ká má bàa sọ wípé ó fẹ́ gbé ìran ẹ̀ níjà ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́yìn ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn tọ́lọ́run ò bá fi sípò ọba tí ò bá fi sípò yìí kì í dé bẹ́ẹ̀ àtìláàwí ti wà nípò báyìí ìyẹn ọmọ yín ẹ̀gbọ́n wa bàbá wa ọ̀rẹ́ wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu àwọn kan tiẹ̀ ń sọ pé kò tí ì lè sí nǹkan ẹjọ́ wà ń kóòtù ẹ wò ṣe rí ẹjọ́ tí ń bẹ ń kóòtù yẹn jẹ́ ń sọ nǹkan kan fún yín constitution Nàìjíríà kò fààyè ilẹ̀ tán bá ti sú àyàn in ẹ lọ bá àwọn tí wọ́n ti ṣe dáadáa ẹ̀rí pọ̀ ńlẹ̀ orúkọ rẹ̀ ó fi sóbìnrin orúkọ rẹ̀ ọkùnrin ní nígbà kan rí aka nínú ìtàn ó sì ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà kan rí wọ́n pe àwọn kan ní màá pè ní sí i àti a nítorí ká má bàa dojú bo ká má bàa fa ètò ìwálẹ̀ sí i àti a sí i àti a ni o ti yé yín tí wọ́n rán wọn káàkiri kí wọ́n ní ìlú tó lágbára jù lágbára tí wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn káàkiri talẹ̀ rí tí wọ́n gbé lọ sílé ẹjọ́ nù mo béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín ni àjọ máa wọn ní wọ́n bá ti ló kàn wọ́n nù ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tọ́lọ́run ò bá wá ló kàn ó ń tan ara rẹ̀ jẹ ni ó ti wá kan ọmọ yín báyìí o ẹ má wàá fi gìrìgìrì wọlé awúrẹ́ tó ń tẹ bá fi gìrìgìrì wọlé awúrẹ́ ó máa wá wó àwọn kan ti ń retí wípé kí ìyanu ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lóòótọ́ ìyanu lè ṣẹlẹ̀ bí ti delusion kan bí ti delusions kan power doesn't give in it's been taken kò sẹ́ni tí ó wà gbé agbára tí ó sì kí agbára mọ́lẹ̀ báyìí tí ó ní ó yá ẹgbà ẹ máa gbé e lọ níbo lẹ ti ẹgbọ́rú ẹ̀rí ni you take it it's never give to anyone and ọmọ yín has used his number 1 number 2 number 3 number 4 to be number 6 ó ti gbà á ṣùgbọ́n gbà tó wá gbà á yẹn ṣé àkókò tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fi gìrìgìrì wọlé awúrẹ́ lélẹ́yìí ọ̀nà wo lẹ fi ń gìrìgìrì wọlé awúrẹ́ látọ̀ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọba àwọn ìjòyè tí ó ń sọ èdè tí mò ń sọ lẹ́nu ọmọ kóòtù òjìrè tẹ ìdórí àwa páìtọ̀ àwọn gangan lọ̀rọ̀ yìí kàn bàbá mi Adébóyè Enoch ẹ kúkú pẹ́ fún wa lágbára lọ́hùn ẹ kúkú pẹ̀lú ẹni tá à ń wò lókè ẹ worú bàbá wa ọmọ Ìlọrin ọmọ Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá Bíṣọ́pù Oyèdépò tó bá yẹ pé mo mọ orí kìí máa kì í délé dáadáa ǹjẹ́ ojú gan kò máa tì yín ni ojú ò tì yín kẹ́nìkan dẹ̀ lanu pàkà kẹ́nìkan sọ pé irú yín Ìlọrin náà ti wá kẹ̀dẹ̀ wo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ àfihàn lẹ̀ ṣé bá ṣe wá ń wọnú ìjọ ní ojú Christendom ní ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan yìí ẹ lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ lábẹ́lẹ̀ yìí kò work ẹ̀kọ́ tá à ń kọ́ ni wípé you will be blessed no church jù yẹn o ìrètí tí àwọn èèyàn wá dé church ó ti diminish wọ́n wá láyàláyà wọ́n wá gbébọn wọnú church àwọn kan tiẹ̀ láyà wọn làwọn máa regulate church mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ ohun bíṣọ̀bù kan péré la gbọ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bishop Coker ẹ̀yin tó kù wá dákẹ́ mínímínímíní ó mà ṣe o ọmọ yín ti wá wà ń bẹ báyìí ẹ kóra jọ ní lógúnlógún ẹ kóra jọ ní lọ́gbọ̀nlọ́gbọ̀n ẹ jáde bí bàbá ìṣúwà ẹ̀yin ló kàn nígbà tí èmi ló kàn ti débẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ló kàn yóò wá di àwa ló kàn bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí omi àtẹ̀yìn bọ ìgbín lẹ́nu mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o 419 lọ bí rẹ́rẹ́ lógùn state náà wọ́n gbá àwọn ìyá lọ́jà kan lọ rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́ igbe gbà gbogbo gbòòrò kankan ẹ tún wò nílùú tó níjọ lọ ẹ tẹ̀ wá mọ́ tó gbomijé lójú mi lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ nígbà tí èmi ló kàn tó kàn tán ṣé ẹ wá fẹ́ jẹ́ kó kan àwa tó kàn kọ́ ká jáde ká sọ̀rọ̀ wa ní pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ ká wá jáde kílé awúrẹ́ yìí káwọn ọ̀tá má wọ ọbẹ̀ kó má bàa wò iṣu àkátà kójọ kó má bàa di torí olórìṣà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ pín fídíò yìí kó lè dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn bàbá tọ́rọ̀ kàn yín ẹ ní fojú sunkún ọmọ yín ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ pín náà ẹ ní fojú sunkún ọmọ ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa wípé ṣé èmi lẹ́ ń ṣe ni àbá ń ṣe ra wa ìbéèrè tá a máa béèrè nìyẹn kò sì ná onísìsì kò ná ẹni kọ́bọ̀ láti lè pín tàbí láti láìkí ẹ. àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga náà wọ́n wá gbowó wọ́n bẹ̀ sí mú owó gegere wọ́n kún lé ìwé fáwọn ọmọ wọn. ó mà ṣe o ó mà ṣe o student loan yìí irú àwọn èèyàn wo ló lè rí gbà náà ṣe irú èmi ọmọ àtàpátá dìde níbo mo ti fẹ́ rí level 12 ńlé wa ìjọ wo lẹ ti fáwọn èèyàn ń ṣẹ́ gbẹ̀yìn Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu cost of governance ní Nàìjíríà ó ti pọ̀ jù nígbà tẹ́ ń sọ pé káwọn èèyàn kan ẹ̀ǹdíọ̀ dojú bo ṣé dojú ikú ni ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ǹdíọ̀ tẹ́ kó convoy lọ rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́rẹ́ mọ́tò wọ̀nyẹn SUV wọ̀nyẹn ó máa gbà tó epo mélòó sá ẹ jẹ́ ká tiẹ̀ kọ́gbọ́n kan lára ìjọba yìí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ cut gbogbo expenses burúkú tá à ń rí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìjọba Nàìjíríà àti wípé ẹ̀yin bàbá wa tí mò ń dárúkọ yìí nǹkan ẹyọ kan ni kẹ́ ẹ lọ sọ fọ́mọ yín ó ti kàn ó ẹ wá sọ fún pé àwa ló kàn ní kó fi ṣe báyìí devolution of power devolution of power devolution of power kó má fi ṣe pé agbára yẹn ó sweet nítorí pé power it always corrupt ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ bá dákẹ́ tẹ́ fọmọ yín lẹ̀ síbẹ̀ tafàtafà ń ta tiẹ̀ tán ta sí gbọ̀ǹkà àtìtì mi tafàtafà ń ta tiẹ̀ èyí tí wọ́n ta níjọ́ kínní àná sí Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá tafàtafà ń ta tiẹ̀ èyí tí wọ́n ta nínú òkùnkùn tafàtafà ń ta tiẹ̀ èyí tí àwọn kàbá àti wọ́n ta lásòrò òkè ọmọ yìí gbogbo ọfà ayé ara ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ta sí ǹjẹ́ kò yẹ kẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ àǹdí ẹ̀ kílé awúrẹ́ kó má bàa wó kí iṣu àká kó má bàa diṣu oníṣu. ògbóná gbòǹgbò tí ń dátọ́ lẹ́nu ìgbín lọ́ọ̀yà Fálànà ẹgbọ́n tó sọ.
When a lot of Nigerians hear palliative, it doesn't look like a good idea. You remember, on one of our platforms, you were popular for saying that they were holding Indomie. Palliatives in this country has not come with as a good idea. You know what happened with palliatives. We know what happened with sharing handouts, 5,000 naira. It hasn't really worked. A lot of economists have said that has not really impacted on the real economy of Nigeria. And these are the questions that we are asking. And if people, Mr. Falana, have said...
Sean, what I expect...
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, Sean.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
This time around, we're not talking of 5,000 naira per month. Because we're talking of 133 million people. that are extremely poor. And from the devaluation of the currency, about 4 million have been added to that number. So we are talking of about 137 million people that are extremely poor. The $800 million being proposed by the World Bank will go nowhere. And that is why the government will have to take the bulk of the $10 billion being saved to address the problems, the challenges of the removal of persons. Secondly, we must also look at statutory palliatives, welfare programs already decreed by law for implementation by the government. For instance, you are supposed to have national health insurance scheme for Nigerians. Is that working? You have Pension Reforms Act. Why are people still keen up to collect pension? You have Child's Right Act, Child's Right Law in each of the states. These laws have insisted that every Nigerian child shall be educated from primary to junior secondary school. For me, you have the Housing Act, National Housing Act, that prescribes that 2.5% of the salary of a worker will be deducted and put in a fund so that workers can apply for housing loan. These are statutory palliatives that have to be implemented now.
I like
once
to
you do that, the government will have to wake up and appreciate its responsibilities.
Are they too big for the over 2 million or 200 million Nigerians, or what exactly is going on?
Well, Seun, our OPEC quota is 1.8 million barrels of crude oil per day. We are barely producing 1.2 million barrels. So 600,000 barrels are stolen daily. And this is unacceptable. No responsible government can say that oil theft cannot be combated. I'm aware that very soon the oil thieves are going to be exposed. Whereas there are 36 oil terminals, only 20 of them are metered. In 2012, after the protests, the Jonathan administration set up the new Ribadu Committee to investigate the monumental fraud that informed importation of fuel. At the end of the investigation, that panel came up with a report that many of our terminals are not metered. I am aware that we have 36 terminals, only 20 are metered. So the remaining 16 have not been metered, and that is where oil is stolen. So this regime has a task, more so that Mr. Nuhu Ribadu is now the National Security Advisor. He must walk his talk by ensuring that the recommendation submitted to the Jonathan administration is implemented now, because Nigeria is the only oil-producing country. The only oil-producing country. Talking of oil theft, talking of smuggling of petroleum products, talking of inability to fix refineries. And so this must end. And for me, that is the main issue to address. If you are giving 5,000 naira to poor people, 10,000 naira, and you are devaluing the currency through dollarization, you are not going to address the problems. In fact, you are going to maximize poverty and increase inequality in the country. So the government will have to address and put an end to oil theft. It's not oil science to do that. I mean, rocket science. With the appointment, with the employment of a non-state actor like Mr. Government Ompolo, which is to the shame of our security forces. Through that organization, we are now able to produce 1.2 million barrels of crude oil per day instead of 900,000 barrels. And now that the government is being called upon to meter all our terminals, I am very confident, right, that the government can stop oil theft in a matter of weeks.
We're hoping that that will happen. Mr. Falana, let me take you away to another very crucial matter, which is the issue of election. Well, where you practice, which is the legal corridor, and I'd like to remind you of this video, and I'd like to get your view on the impact on the Nigerian judiciary. And this is what Senator Bukachua said on the floor of the Senate. It's perhaps been worsened by what Senator Rochas Okorocha also said, although the Lord, the former president of the appeal court had come out to say all those were not right. But then it has implication. Well, let me remind you, for the sake of our viewers who are not privy to that statement made by Senator Bukachua at the valedictory session of the Senate, let me remind you, this was what he said.
I must thank particularly my wife, whose freedom and independence I encroached upon while she was in office. And she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues.
Distinguished, please, I don't think this is a good idea going this direction. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea, please.
That was one. And one would think that that was bad enough. I mean, this is Senator Rochas Okorocha, and was speaking to the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan. Take a listen to what he also said.
We shall all stand to say Nigeria is a great country. And to those of you, our colleagues, including you, Mr. Senate President, you know you're a very smart politician. How you came back is yet another political book to discuss.
Sorry?
I say how you came back is another chapter in our political history.
How I came back from where?
Mr. President, how you return to the Senate as a senator will open another chapter of great discussion in our political book. Because I was there in the field with you running for president. I never knew how you were able to meander and return and leaving some of us. Next time, you must teach me how to do that.
It was easy. It was easy. I was there with you in the field, but after our defeat, my constituents thought they needed me again.
Mr. Falana, your thought and what this means for the Nigerian judiciary?
Well, the scenario in the Senate leaves much to be desired. It's a very unfortunate situation that, as such a forum, distinguished senators will attempt to expose the judiciary to ridicule. As far as I'm concerned, and I've made this point before my colleagues in the legal profession, these statements should not be swept under the carpet. We have a duty to the National Judicial Council to cause an investigation into the very witty statement credited to Senator Adamu Bukachua, more so that his wife, a former president of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Justice Zainab Bukachua, retired, has come out to say, to distance herself from the statement credited to her husband on the floor of the Senate. Is form part of the proceedings of the Senate. And for that reason, this country, through the National Judicial Council, whose city duty to get to the root of the allegation. That's my position.
All right.
ó dáa mo sọ yìí mo dúró ná ọdúndún yìí rèé ọmọ asọ̀dé dẹ̀rọ̀ mo tún ń padà bọ̀ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá sọ pé kí ẹ̀wà mi kó má wà òòjọ́ tẹ́yìn títú bá forí sàpáta òòjọ́ náà ni ẹwà ara rẹ̀ bàjẹ́ ó dàbọ̀ sà ó dàbọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ti pín ògo àtọlá Ọlọ́run ó bá ń pín dọ́dọ̀ yín o ó dàbọ̀.